Hello, welcome back to another FPL video. I hope everyone is doing well. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a video I've not done before, and that's where I'm going to imply whether you should buy, save a buy, or hold on to that just alright guy. A buy, hold, sell video ahead of Game Week 20. If you're new around here, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, really helps me out. Hit the like button if you do enjoy the video, and let's get straight on into this one. So quickly, just to explain how this works, we've got our two axes here, the vertical one and the horizontal one. The vertical axis is the form of the player we're going to be judging. So that's whether they are in really good form, going from baller at the top to a stinker at the bottom, whether they're playing very bad. And the horizontal axis is the fixtures, so whether the fixtures are bad or whether they're good, whether they're ace. So that means in the top right hand corner we've got our buy section highlighted in green. Then in the bottom left hand section we have our sell section, where you say a bye-bye to your players. They're highlighted in red. And then the other two blocks, the top left and the bottom right, are our hold section highlighted in blue. This is where you're just going to be holding on to that all right guy, the hold section. So we're going to be going through 5 players in each position, and we're going to kick us off here with the defenders. Now the first player we're going to be considering, that's John Stones. I think everyone knows where he's going. He's going straight into that top right hand corner just here. I mean, he's been on unbelievable form of late, scoring that brace against Crystal Palace and keeping 2 clean sheets in a double game week. He also has very good fixtures coming up with potential double game weeks as well. John Stones looked almost essential for the coming game week, so John Stones is definitely up there on the buy section. Then we've got James Justin. I think his form of late has been incredibly good. Leicester got those 2 clean sheets against Southampton and Chelsea, 2 sides that you potentially not expect them to get clean sheets against. They did. So I think his form is very good. His fixtures are okay. They've got Leeds, Fulham coming up. I think it's Everton in their next game. So their fixtures are perfectly fine. So James Justin is definitely going straight into that buy section for me. I think he's looked very good. He's actually the highest owned defender, so it's definitely a hold, but if you can get him in, I'd go for the buy. Then we've got Ben Chilwell, which is a very interesting one, because of late you would probably have to put Chelsea's form, pretty stinky, pretty down here. However, their fixtures coming up, they've got the likes of Sheffield and I think Fulham coming up, so their fixtures are okay. So the fact that their fixtures are okay stops him from maybe moving into this bad section. And I think although Chelsea have been pretty stinky of late, pretty bad form of late, I think their fixtures just about mean we can hold on to Ben Chilwell. But if taking up Ben Chilwell means you can bring in the likes of Stones or the likes of Justin, I don't think that's a bad move. But for now, I think I'll be holding on to Ben Chilwell. Then we've got the Liverpool man, Andy Robertson. A lot of people will have Robertson. I just want to say quickly, anything that I say about Robertson, you can apply to Trent, Chilwell, the likes of Zuma and so on. And also with Stones, Diaz, any player that I mention, you can basically apply the same thing to the players of similar price in their team. We've got Andy Robertson. I mean, after Liverpool have just lost to Burnley at home, destroying their 68 game record, their defence, to be fair, has been okay. I wouldn't put their defence on they've been balling. I'd put their defence around about here, but with Liverpool not having particularly good fixtures, I think Randy Robertson at the minute is definitely on the chopping block for me. He would be, for the value for money that he offers as well. I don't think he's a particularly good option. When I would even potentially look at doing Robertson to Chilwell, because even that frees up just over $1 million. And then obviously, if you can bring in one of the likes of Justin, one of the likes of Stones for Robertson, you've got so much money in the bank for players who could potentially get many more returns as well. And finally, to finish us off here with the defender spot, we've got Stuart Dallas, a player that is quite highly owned at the minute because people were targeting him for the kind of double game week fixtures that Leeds were supposedly meant to have. Obviously, they didn't have the double game week fixture, so that went a bit unfortunate. They've been playing pretty poorly at the minute, Leeds. They've not been doing too well. It's kind of down here for the minute, and me. The only thing that's making me put Dallas into the kind of hold section over here is the fact that potentially they would have a double game week come game week 23. If they have the double game week, I think it's always nice to have double game week players. Their double game week against Southampton could be played in game week 23. We will know that by the end of the weekend, whether they will have a double game week. So for now, I'm putting him in hold. However, he'd be going straight down to here if the double game week weren't to be played. But for now, we can put Dallas here. Now we're going to take a look at 5 midfielders, whether to buy, hold, or sell them, whether to say goodbye, to buy, or just hold on to that. All right, guys, starting us off with James Maddison, a man that's been balling so far. In the last 3 games, he's picked up a 10 and I think 2 9-pointers, or an 8 and 9 out of 10. Absolutely balling. I'd probably... He's got to be. He's almost off the. I want to go off the charts up here in terms of balling, because he's been playing unbelievable. He's not going to be kind of top right because their fixtures aren't incredible, but they are very good. So I'm very happy to put James Maddison in that kind of top right echelon of the grid. He looks like an unbelievable option. They've got Leeds coming up, they've got Fulham coming up, and therefore Maddison looks like a great option. And also coming in at sort of 7.1 million, a very good value for money player, and a player that you could potentially bring in for this man, Kevin De Bruyne. Now, Kevin De Bruyne was going to be in this green section, or even the blue one, because, you know, many people already do own him. However, we've just had news that Kevin De Bruyne is likely to be out for 2 or 3 weeks, which means he's most likely going to miss the Liverpool game as well. So he's going to miss the next 4 FPL fixtures. So, you know, I'm not going to put him all the way down on kind of stinky form, because he's been playing well, but I'm going to put him over here simply because, you know, the fixtures are good for Manchester City, but if he's not playing, it means the fixtures for him are really bad. So Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne is a sell right now. And then we move on to an interesting one. A lot of people are going to be debating what to do with this man, Salah. Now, actually, let me put him back over here and just discuss for a second what my thoughts are with Salah. Now, obviously, Liverpool in the previous 4 games have not scored. That is not good enough at all. But what a lot of people were thinking of doing is taking out Salah and bringing in De Bruyne. Obviously, that's not really a viable option right now. And now that De Bruyne is not there, I kind of look at the rest of those players and think, is it really worth it, to be honest with you? We've got a man there, Rashford, who we'll come on to in a minute, but you could easily be punished for not owning Salah. And I think for a lot of people who will own Salah, they'll also own De Bruyne. So the main kind of priority is going to be getting rid of De Bruyne this week than getting rid of Salah. So for now, I'm just going to put Salah in here. They haven't got the best fixtures, they haven't got the worst fixtures. I'm actually going to put him right down here because the form's been stinky, but the fixtures aren't too bad, and he is like very, very close to kind of moving over into here. He's got a couple more game weeks to kind of prove himself that he can be good enough to stick in the FPL teams. For now, it's a hold because there are other problems really that you're going to have to deal with, but he is definitely one that is on the chopping block. The next player we've got is Jack Grealish. Now, it's hard to really tell what to do with Aston Villa assets because they haven't actually played too much football of late with the amount of blank game weeks they've had. They do play tonight against Newcastle, so I'll be very tempted to see what point that Aston Villa are at and sort of, you know, how they've dealt with COVID, whether it's really affected their training. So for now, I think that Jack Grealish, he's got okay fixtures, and to be fair to him, he's actually been playing okay. So it's not particularly a buy, and he's not particularly been, so I kind of just want to put him straight bang in the middle, just because, you know, he's been okay, his form's been okay, his fixtures look half decent. Got Burnley away next, which definitely is not a bad fixture. So for me, it's definitely a hold for Grealish for now, but I definitely wouldn't be looking to kind of bring him in, especially when you've got Maddison there at the same kind of price. And a player to kind of quickly mention, Wilfried Zaha, very, very good fixtures coming up as well. Obviously at that price bracket, Maddison does look like the best option though, but Grealish definitely one I'd hold on to for now. And then we've got Marcus Rashford, 9.6 million. Now for me, Marcus Rashford, before the Kevin De Bruyne injury, probably would have been on a bit of a hold. You know, very good fixtures, but not the greatest of form of late. Didn't play against Fulham, so that obviously has affected his points tally. But considering De Bruyne is out and Manchester United do play Sheffield next, I think Rashford can move over into this kind of ace side of the fixtures, because Man United do actually have a very good set of fixtures in their next 5. They've absolutely battered Sheffield the last kind of 2 or 3 times they've played them. You know, in the reverse fixture, Martial and Rashford picked up kind of 10, 14 pointers between them. And last season, I remember when Egan was out, as I've mentioned quite a few times in other videos, Man United absolutely battered them. So I do think Rashford could definitely be a buy, specifically though for Kevin De Bruyne, for those of you who are looking to take him out for this game week. And then finally, we're going to be taking a look at 5 attackers. My opinion on whether you should buy, obviously save or buy, or hold on to that just all right guy. First things first, Harry Kane. His form has been very, very good. So he's going to move straight into this kind of green section for me. More on the kind of balling side though, rather than the fixture side. Their fixtures are okay, so I think he can move over a little bit to the right. But, you know, he's been playing well. His fixtures aren't great, but it's Harry Kane. Looks like an unbelievable option. Also, I'm gonna break. I should have put Vardy second on the list here, but I'm gonna take Vardy. And obviously, Vardy's got the injury. He's been pretty stinky over the past few game weeks. So Vardy is going straight down into that bottom left-hand corner. And mainly that makes Kane even more enticing, because if you do own Jamie Vardy, Kane is only a mil more. So hopefully you'll be able to find that money and bring in Kane for Vardy. I think that looks like a very, very nice transfer. Another option that you could look at is Danny Ings. Now Danny Ings, for me, I'm going to put him in the buy section, but just kind of smidging in there. Obviously he doesn't have the greatest of fixtures coming up, but he could potentially have that double game week against Leeds, as I discussed earlier on in the video, which is why I'm putting him in the buy section, because if this weekend it gets confirmed that that fixture goes ahead, I think he's going to be an unbelievable option. And the thing is with Danny Ings, when he's played, he's banged in so many goals, got so many attacking returns, so I think he looks like an unbelievable option. Obviously though, now because we don't know what's going to happen, I'm just going to lob him in the hold section just for now, and then we'll see obviously if he does get the double game week, you'll be looking at bringing him in, but for now it will just be a hold. Then we've got Michail Antonio, and I mean the guy is a absolute baller. I just put him up here. 2 goals on his return. We're gonna lob him around about here. He should probably be kind of overlapping Kane, but just for the sake of the video, so we can get everyone in. We'll put Michail Antonio there. Scored 2 goals on his return. Yes, they were against Burnley and West Brom. But obviously, when a player is scoring like he is, you know, you want to own him in your FPL team, and only for 6.3 million. An unbelievable option. I also looked earlier on in the season, and the teams he was scoring against were the likes of Arsenal, the likes of Manchester City. You know, he can score against anyone. And with the fixtures they have got coming up, I think Antonio looks like a very good option. And then moving on to the final player we're going to be assessing for this game week, and that is Patrick Bamford. Now with Dallas and with Danny Ings, as I've said, there is the potential for a double game coming up. Also, Patrick Bamford is so highly owned. A lot of you probably have a lot of value in him. He's 6.7 million now. So, you know, if you bought him at 5.5, that's 1.2 million worth of value that you're going to have in him, which is a hell of a lot. Also, Leeds, you know, they haven't been too great of late. So the Leeds are kind of on the stinkier side of form. However, with the potential of that double game week, with Newcastle coming up next for Leeds, it's a hold for Patrick Bamford for now. Just kind of wait and see what's going to happen. I hope you have enjoyed this quick little buy, sell, hold video, or, you know, the buy, say bye-bye, or it's just an alright guy video. And if you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.